I need a haircut, but I'm not cutting my hair because it's growing for a special purpose. So I have to grow my hair. Yes, sir. We got some new fish. So disclaimer: it is not the fish on the cover of the title. Those fish are in Belgium. I am getting some of those from the same line. Actually, the fish that you're seeing, their offspring. My friend Thomas has a bunch of them already, and he has already promised to give me some. But they're in Belgium, so I had to go pick them up. I had to take a flight to Europe, pay him, and pick those up. But we did get other fish, super cool fish, and we're gonna look at them just now. And we're also gonna look at all the other fish we have in the facility. What's going on, Steiner? How you doing? Thank you for being here. And S, thank you for being here. And Longfin Lagoon, thank you for being here. Two Bros Aquatics. Hello, hello, hello. Scales and Tails. How you doing? Nonstop Aquatics. How you doing, Jonathan? Steven, how you doing? Hello. Uh, Spaghetti Nona. How you doing? Scott's Aquatics. All right, there's 18 people on here right now. Wow. Okay, we got some new fish. If you're watching this right now, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching this on the replay, give it a thumbs up and comment below, and let me know you're part of the replay crew. And yes, so I went to actually a friend's house earlier today. I was supposed to be there for 11:30. I got there at like 12ish. Huge shout out to the Goji, Daniel. He was here and he actually drove me to Farhad's house because my truck has stuff from my apartment. It's full of crap, like just like random stuff that I had to bring over, and so it's all packed in my truck. So there was no space to like get anything in there, and also I had no space in here to get anything out. I'll show you guys. What's going on, Nalini? How you doing? How you doing, Sandy? And so anyways, it's been a little bit of a hectic few days, and then I had to go pick up these tanks. So I'll show you guys what I picked up actually. So I picked up $120 worth of tanks, so 120 gallons of tanks, like these three here. This is a 20-gallon, those two 10 gallons. There was another 10-gallon that I gave to Daniel because he was like, "Can I take the 10-gallon?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, you drove me to go pick up the tanks." So he got that tank. And there was another 35-gallon and another 20-gallon and a 15-gallon, which I had to pick up next weekend, which I didn't pick up today. And there's another 20-gallon in the backyard, and all the paraphernalia that comes along with the tanks, the filters, the lights, the tops, the wood stands, which I didn't pick up yet, and all that. And also I got two different strains of guppies. I'll show you guys them. They're being temperature acclimatized right now. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to see these guys. Thank you, Steiner. Thank you so much. Well, that's a huge super chat. So there's some guppies in here, and so these were like a part of the deal. It's a pure strain, but they're really nice. They're not a long fin; they're a short fin variety. And so we're gonna try to work with these. Try to work on like a nice strain, maybe line breed them. I'm good, Nalini. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Okay, so and there's another container full of guppies in the basement, which we're gonna go look at right now. And so they're in this bucket. I'm trying to get them warmed up. So let me get those down here. Give me a second. It's a mess down here and also throughout the house. So don't mind the mess. We're still setting up. Nothing has been set up yet. Alright, so we got these guys. Again, another pure strain. This is like a... It's not a common strain. It's like a lyre tail. I don't know exactly. They have platinum on their sides, so they're really pretty. And I just had to get them into a tank. It's really cold. This water is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Our water here is about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So I need to get these guys to warm up before I... Still, oh my god, it's freezing. Before I move them into... There's a random, what is this thing? An air pump on the floor. There's a sump pump sitting on the floor over there. Buckets, our new tanks that are filled up and stuff that's already filled up. So these tanks, these are all Michael's tanks. They're already full, full of water. We still have to drain these and reposition these because there's I needed to put plywood on here before we put the stand on. That was my bad. I didn't think about that. Another random pump. You know, these are all full of water. We still have to fix those again, so that needs to get drained. These need to be set up. A lot of work to be done in here. And I also added fish into these tanks. I don't know if you guys can see them. Let's try to look at some of the fish. Oh, there they are. So these are fish that are culls, basically. So we can't sell these fish. They have deformities. Mostly missing one of the trailers. So here, let me try to show you. See, you have the fish without the trailers. Some of them have one. Most of them have one, but like this guy here, for example, has none. So it's the one in the middle. Can you see it? It's difficult to focus on them. They're tiny. So I had no purpose for them. We would be feeding these guys to our vet pets once we have the vet pets, but right now we don't have anything to feed them to. So we are putting them into these tanks to cycle the tank. So their job is to keep the cycle going. This is a cycled filter from one of the tanks upstairs. This tank is going to be housing discus. What's going on, B-Boy Graphics? How you doing? And there's discus coming to in the next couple of days into these tanks. So Steiner, we are getting discus in these tanks very soon. And so Michael has been breeding a storm of fish at his house, and so those fish are going to end up in here to grow out in these tanks. And there's a heater in there already. If you can see it, it's already, this tank is quite warm actually. And there's a filter. There's some fish in there that's keeping the cycle going, and it's nice. And so it's ready for fish. And up top it's the same deal. We got some baby angels that are essentially the same issue. These guys also don't have their trailers, so we removed them. We do not want to sell any fish that are not perfect. Unfortunate for the fish that are here, but we will show you guys all the good ones, and then you will see how much turn out this way compared to how much are not this way. Okay, but these are still good looking fish. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're really beautiful. And there's some that do have trailers. This guy, for example, he's doing a weird spinning thing. Neurological issues is what I suspect, but can't really be 100% confirmed on that, but I think it has neurological issues. So we have him here as well. And I want to say the Goji, which is Daniel, was here earlier today, and he's the one who caught these fish while I was paying bills upstairs. So I was upstairs for about an hour and a half paying bills, dealing with Bell Canada and all that good jazz, while Daniel was downstairs catching all the deformed fish out of the grow tank so we can make some space. So let's close these guys up here and put them back on top of the shelf to get them warmer, and we will go upstairs and turn off the light. There we go. I have a system. I have a full system, and I'll answer some questions when I get upstairs. What's going on, B-Boy Graphics? What's going on, Fishymon? How you doing, Jonathan? So yeah, it's a lot of work left. You guys, I'm gonna show you the mess. See, like these tanks need to get set up. Shelf, all this stuff needs to get sorted and moved out of here so I can put the tanks that need to go here. There's gonna be our quarantine up top. I need to put plywood on the floors. I haven't done that. I need to get new plywood on this floor. What's going on, Sandy Dorothy? Okay, so this tank is the tank where those fish came from. So the imperfect ones were removed from this tank. Now that serves two separate purposes for me. Okay, I'm gonna answer a question for Jack here. Okay, but give me 1 second. So these guys are all the perfect ones. There's probably still one or two that need to be removed. that are missing trailers and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're good. Now, by removing the culls, what's going on, Arcaz? Got jumped? Jonathan, who'd you get jumped by? That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. I'm sorry, buddy. By removing the calls, yeah, I'm really sorry that happened, bud. That sucks. I'm kind of like trying to process that right now. That kind of sucks real bad. Hope you're good, cause you know that, yeah, not cool. Sorry about that, buddy. Sorry to hear that. Um, and you can barely move. That sucks. I'm sorry, dude. Damn. Do you know who they are? Did you file a police report? And try to go through the legal routes of finding justice and stuff. Because I think that's the best way to go in a situation like this, is to. Wow, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry, bro. What's going on, Leo? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. As long as you can find who it is, I would say get the law involved. But yeah, um, coming back to what I was trying to say, like not to jump topics, but I want to not forget what I had to say there. Is removing the calls creates more space for the fish that are perfect. You know what I mean? Definitely. That's what I was just gonna say. Dude, call me as soon as I'm done the live stream. I want to talk to you. So, but yeah, Leo, welcome. And Leo's been here for like a year also. Um, so, I removed the calls for two purposes: to create more space for the fish that I do want to grow out, and also to remove the fish that I cannot sell to the pet store. I do not want to sell to the pet store. So these are the fish that I do want to sell to the pet store. These are mostly platinum angels. Yeah, definitely, bro. Hope you feel better. Like that sucks. Um, but yeah, these guys are pretty much, like growing well, doing well. I definitely need to increase the oxygenation in here. I don't have my air loop running, so you know what I mean. Like I'm gonna set up this new cascade pump in there, get it going, and we can do that together if you guys want. Let's do that together. So this is like my preferred type of power head pump. What I like to do is when I get one of these, I don't really wash these or clean these. They're pretty solid machines. They come pre-tested and everything, so there's no oil and stuff on it. I really like them. They never pay me any money, but Penplax, if you do want to sponsor me, I would like to have one of these in every one of my tanks. So please get at me. Let me know. Send me some of these bad boys. And because this is like really what I really like. They're like $60 each, so like 100 tanks, that's $6,000 worth of pumps, right? Like I have about 20 or 30 of them now already, but I need about 70 more. And I definitely really like them. So, and they seem to last quite forever too. Like I have pumps that I bought like 10 years ago and stuff that still work. So can't complain. The one complaint I have about these particular designs is these suction cups come off so easily. Yes, I definitely. Well, that's what my plan was for today, is to get this going, and then also to do a water change in this exact tank before I go to sleep, because I'm working all week next week and I can't afford to lose any of these. Um, I lost 3 clutches this week. It's not a fault of anybody or the fish. It's just that I wasn't home and they just ate the clutches. So like usually these pairs don't eat clutches, but something's going on in the tanks. I think the pH is not perfect yet for them to breed. Angels breed at about 6.5 pH or below. They do really good. Below 7, they're okay. And I think the pH is still at about 7.8 in the tanks that they're in. I haven't put anything to lower the pH. I've been doing water changes in them, so like I need to stop that. I need to put some Oakleys. I need to let the acid start building up. and then they would start breeding, and the clutches would start, hatching and stuff for me. So that's something I need to work on over the coming weeks and months. But anyways, let's set this up right now for these guys here. And there we go. Okay, it's plugged in, or it's attached right there. Let's plug it in. There we go. There she goes. High flow. Oh yeah. And it makes a difference in the finnage too. When there's a decent amount of flow in there, young and stuff, the fins grow real nice, you know. We did get more fish actually. I'm going to show you guys. We got some plecos. So if anybody was waiting for the plecos, we have plecos. We bought a bunch of really nice plecos, which we're going to go see right now. So we'll go upstairs. Actually, before we go upstairs, I'm going to show you guys something real quickly out here. So these are our angelfish that came in first. Everybody's doing great. These two paired up. So they have their own little space right now. I need to put them in a tank. These two might be pairing up. So we'll see how that goes. These have not paired up. Turning around, we will look at our shrimpies. They're doing great. They had babies in the last week. So you're getting a tour right now. If you're here right now, you are getting essentially a fish house tour. There is algae on the glass. Obviously, I need to clean up. But these are the red shrimps, Sakura reds. Real nice shrimp. And there's a lot of babies in here. There's one right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there on the glass. It's like that little red speck. There's a whole bunch of babies in there. I have my crystals in here. The lights in there are not turned on, or actually I don't have a light for that. I've been moving this light back and forth. More shrimps and stuff in quarantine. Alright, we're gonna go upstairs. Just want to show you guys. And also, we got this thing. So, right? Farhad, my friend who I bought all the stuff from, Fred, essentially made all of these to breed plecos in. And he sold me all those for $400, including the tanks we just looked at, plus the fish we're about to just look at, and all the guppies and all the stands in his house, and like a whole bunch of other goodies, like about $1,000 worth of stuff, probably more. So I was pretty happy about it, and I'm so grateful to him for that. So we're gonna use this right now, so stay tuned. Okay, let's look at what we got first. All right. Zebras trap, yes, zebras did trap. There's a trapping right now. Okay, what did we get? Oh wow, look at those. We got these long fin L144 super reds. These are the same line as the fish that I have here. These are actually their siblings. So the fish I have breeding in this facility already, which we will look at right now. There's a new clutch. We're going to harvest them right now. So you're going to get that special tidbit. This is all work I have to do today that I'm doing while I'm live streaming, okay? Because I'm working full time. I shouldn't be live streaming. I should be doing work. But I love you guys and girls, so I need to also live stream so that I at least give you some content and give you guys an update on what's going on. So essentially we picked these up from my friend Fred. He lives in Little India, which is where I live, down the street, like about 12-minute drive from my house. And so I drove there with my friend Daniel and picked these up. These fish are related to the fish that I have here, the parent pair that I have, which is what I bought from Fred about a year and a half ago. So they've been breeding for me throughout this whole year actually, and they're doing great. And Fred just has extra fish, and he's reducing some of his tanks. So he called me and he said, hey, like, take everything, I'll give you a good price, and just come and look at them. And when I went to his house earlier today, at like around noon, and I picked these guys up, as well as all the fish we just looked at downstairs, plus 120 gallons of tanks, stands, paraphernalia related to fish, as well as filters and all this other good stuff, lights, you know, like you name it. Like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff I got, and like about 100 guppies, like big guppies, you know, really nice, pretty ones. So it was real nice. And also, there's a question that I want to answer from one of my channel members. Um, Here, Jack Finley wanted to know. Jake Finley. What's going on, Patty? What's going on, Color Guppies? I'm Little India in my neighborhood too. It's segregation, man. What's going on, George? What's going on, Joe? How y'all doing? How's your Sunday? Flexington says my zebs are breeding. I found 2 babies in my tank a few days ago. Congratulations, Flexington. You are gonna have more than 2 babies in there most likely. So check, you know, then you might see more. Jonathan says I lost 3 clutches last week, 2 from my foursome. I was trying to find out why it happened. It happens sometimes. It could just be like the water, you know, like temperature change. Could just be that they got a bacterial infection, you know, it's all kinds of variables. So it is good to like figure out what it is and remedy it. So I'm glad you're doing that. If sometimes falls off the filters, put a strip on. Yeah, definitely. Breeding tanks rack with some, yeah, exactly. It's worth it. What's going on, QC? Joe, how you doing, bro? I talk to Joe like all the time, and his new setup is super dope. Hopefully you make a video for me so I can share it with everybody, or make a video on your channel, you know? It's the Patty's Petite Tanks. What's up, balls, Malik Guppy? What's going on, Scaper? How you doing? We are live, yes sir. 41 people watching. I see 21 thumbs up. Let's see some more thumbs up. And look at my Caradina shrimps that are in the tank. Let me move the bucket out of the way so you can see the shrimp is. The shrimp is on noise. Hey, listen, what's going on? What's going on, Kenny E? Kenny E in the house. Danican Aquatics. Joe says working 16 hours overtime, watching Malik. Much more needed break. Yes, sir. And you know what? If you want, you can take the deformed fish that I have. I don't know what to do with them. I can't euthanize them because I feel bad. They're alive. I am not an executioner. I'm not just gonna kill things if I'm not gonna eat it. So I cannot do that. Okay? I'm not that bad. But if I can feed it to other fish, and I don't have anything I can feed it to, so yeah, they're still here. If you want to get them, I have about 25 angelfish. I'm not gonna spend any money sending them to you, but if you want to come pick them up, I know you live, you know, in Ontario, you're totally welcome to. Or if you want to pay for shipping, I can ship them to you at your cost. You can come pick them up, 100%. I'll keep them until you come pick them up. I can keep them for the next few months. There's no need to like worry. So, or if you know somebody that's driving from Toronto to where you are, just let me know and we can make it happen. Yeah, totally. I definitely would like that, because they're really pretty. They have really good finnage. Everything is perfect on them, except one is missing a big chunk out of his head. Like I don't know how that happened, but it's missing a nice chunk out of his head. So that one got, you know, tossed in the bowl, and one is like a spinning, like it does the spinny thing. So I've kept those alive for like long time in my own tanks, but in this facility, because we're raising them with a specific purpose in mind, and there's a strict quality control regime which I would like to follow as well, which makes more sense, you know, so you don't sell cheap, ugly fish, you know, whatever, to the pet store, or to your customers. So because of that, we have to remove them from our garage, but they're still here. So yes, totally come pick them up. I get that, but it's just the fact that we're putting our name on the fish You know, like you see, there's like 500 really good ones. Like I don't want any to be like not good. You know what I mean? Like we have so many. So for sure, Jonathan, anybody that wants the calls, like I have so many. Like if we're breeding 1,000, there's always gonna be like 10, 20 fish that are not gonna be perfect. So, you know, like even with plecos, like I usually sell them, but Michael said that's not good either. I sell them at like half the cost or like quarter of the cost. Like, or if somebody's buying 10 fish, I just throw a couple of those in and say, here's some extras. You know, I tell them their calls so I don't care about them. And then, you know, if you keep them alive, it's up to you, right? If they want them. But, like, if any of you guys that are my subscribers that live in Ontario specifically want to come pick them up, totally. Like, Jonathan comes, picks up fish all the time or drops off fish to me all the time. He's always in Toronto. I'm like, Jonathan, I'm 12 minutes from the airport cargo. So when you come pick up fish from the cargo office, I'm 12 minutes away from you and literally on the way back to your house. Like I'm off the QEW, like on the 410, like maybe 10 minutes. So it's not that bad. It's super, super easy to get to where I am. I'm right off the highway too. Thank you, Sandy. Michael, what's going on? I'm wondering your opinion. Wilhelmina epistogramma were spawning yesterday. Would you let the parents? Oh yeah. No, I would not touch those eggs. If you move them to meth blue them, the parents will eat them. If you move them for any reason, the parents will eat them. Just literally don't even look at the tank for the next week. Okay, definitely. I do not have problem. And if you can drop some off to Patty on your way down, I would appreciate that also because I think she lives between me and you in Ontario along the route. Maybe a little bit off the highway, but you know maybe she can cover you for some gas money for that too. So you guys work that out. Do I breed discus? Not here right now, but there are discus being bred by Michael that are coming into the grow out room downstairs. I want to pick up a pair of white butterflies. Somebody has them, and I want to pick up some wilds, and I also want a red rose pair, but I'm not picking any of these up until the living room tanks are set up, the air systems are up and running, and I figured out the temperature in the tanks and which ones I would want to heat for the discus. And also I cannot pick up any more expensive fish until these guys can go into their own tank. They're pairing up actually. There's 5 of them in there. Um, they're not big enough to like breed yet. They're about another year away, I would say, from breeding. But like I've had them for about a year and change now, almost 2 years. Not completely 2 years, I would say, but almost thereabouts. Um, so I definitely want to get them into a tank before I pick up my breeding discus. But I am getting breeding discus, God willing. Like as long as I have my job and my union doesn't try to screw me, I will definitely be picking up like some nice big expensive pairs of breeding discus very soon. And it's also like large ultims, other plecos. My plan is to get L600s, breeding pair male female. They're not cheap, definitely, and also some Luteas. Um, you know, like the gold bar plecos, the really big ones. I'm gonna buy like phase one, cheap, small ones for cheaper, and then grow them out myself. But I want to pick them up now because there's a tank that we can potentially put them into. But they're not gonna be picked up until that tank is set up, established, and fish are already in it, like bigger fish and stuff, and gone through quarantine. And I'm bringing these expensive fish and putting them in there, and they're gonna stay there until we move to a bigger place potentially. You know, where we can put even larger tanks, God willing. Uh, I wouldn't say smaller, but like they're not gonna get as big as some of the largest scalaries. Like the scalaries are, you gotta remember, so the scalaries are mostly scalari, the ones in the hobby, but the ones, I'm not talking about the wilds, I'm talking about the ones in the hobby. Um, they are, you know, to some degree hybridized with like all different kinds, including leopardites. So they have, you know, different lines have different sizes. Like mine, for example, get quite large. That's not the case with all the regular angels you might buy at a pet store. You know what I mean? Even the platinums we have are smaller than my koi lines, which get quite large. Even within the koi lines, the black marble seems to get massive. The red marble also, because I've been hybridizing them back and forth. But those two seem to get quite large, but the black marbles get quite large really fast, whereas the red marbles take about 3-4 years to get their full size. Within the Scalari group itself, depending on where they're collected, like for example, there's some redback Scalaris that come from, I think, Rio Negro, that get like as large as an altum. So they do exist in the wild also, where the different populations have different sizes. And I would say that individual populations should be considered a subspecies, or at least a like a locality variation of the species, instead of all labeling them into the one thing. And so I kind of like the fact that when they do bring wild fish, the Macapiro redbacks and stuff, and also the Rio Negro red Scalaris, they get named as after the river that they collected, which is, I think, is a good thing. Leopoldites essentially are smaller than a lot of those. They stay at about, generally about that size. So I would say like maybe 3-4 inches, and then there's the fins obviously on top and bottom, but the body, at the biggest, a male would be about that big. Centerpiece fish for a 36 bow front. I would say get them, but you might end up with like a pair, or like 3 fish, because they're a little bit finickier than the regular, like than any other angel types. They're similar to ultums. Sometimes I would find them to be more finicky than the ultums. Ultums seem to be a little bit easier than them, so like they're not the easiest animals to keep alive in aquaria for some weird odd reason. My guess is that they require low pH, and more softer water, but that's just a guess. I don't know for sure. Thank you, Jonathan. And yes, hit the like button. Pistols, pairs, what's the smallest tank you can keep them in? Now, it depends on the type of a pistos. For example, if you're breeding something like the Borellii, they're quite small. The females stay at about less than an inch. The females are about 3/4 of an inch usually. The males get to about 1.25 inches, which is, for anybody that's not in America or Canada, a female would be about 2 centimeters, and the male would get to about 3.25 centimeters at its biggest, generally. Okay, those guys could be bred in a 5.5 gallon quite comfortably. If you have a 5.5 gallon planted, and you have a couple of really tiny tubes or caves or anything like that, they like to go into like little. I used to use these little vases. My mom had these little cute vases, like like where you put flowers, but these were like decorative. And they were clay, and they had the plastic flowers in them. So I just stole a couple from her, like whatever, like my mom, right? Like I didn't steal them, I just took them, and I removed the plastic flowers, and I put them in the tank, and the opening was like about a 1/2 inch wide, and they would go in there and breed, and maybe 3/4 inch opening. I don't know, they're tiny little opening, but the vase is about that long. So they love that thing, and they breed quite a bit. But now if you're looking at like an apisto that gets to about 2.5 inches, you would want to keep them in like a 10 gallon or so. A 10 gallon planted tank should be okay for most apisto pairs. Cockatoides, you might want to go with like a 20 long or like a 15 long, just because you want to give them a little bit more ground space. The males get to about 2.5-3 inches. They get a little bit robust. So it depends on the size, but small tanks. Yeah, I would feed Basileir. Basileir doesn't seem to cause bloat. Yeah, I mean, like every time I've gotten betas, I still have some of them here now, and they all eat Basileir generally, and they never get bloated. So that's my recommendation. Plus, what Patty said is true. You gotta soak the food, and Top Nelly. Okay, Jack Finley's on the live stream. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna answer his question now. So this is for Top Nelly. He want to know how to separate the L397s from the L398s. Now, the L397s have really fine lines on their heads. The rest of the fish looks pretty identical. Okay, they're pretty similar fish. The head markings on the 397s are like almost hairline. They're like little tiny worms. Whereas the 398s have thicker band and distinct separations between the bands. You can clearly see lines going across that are like kind of reddish orangish, contrasting to the black stripes that are going across. They're not straight all the time. They're a little wiggly every once in a while, but they're still like very distinct bands. So that's how you can tell quite easily. But there's other ways you can tell as well. I'm gonna send you some more information on that later when I find them. There's a website that has I forgot where it was. I can't remember on the top of my head, but I will find it for you. What's going on, Smokesville? Smoke killed one. Okay, yeah. I have the, oh yeah, we just answered your question. You have the hardest time with the pistols? Okay. 2 tricks you can do with the pistols, okay? You need to have a well-planted tank. Pistols come from like marshy areas where there's a lot of plants and they live in, most of them at least live in and around branches and plants and vegetation, and there's a lot of structure. So they don't do good in a tank with very little structure. So something like this would work really well for an pistol pair. Like it's hard to see the caves, but they're behind there, and there's a filter, there's plants and stuff. So also, like, I'm setting up another tank up here. There's no light on it, so you can't really see. But even something like this with a bunch of caves would work for a pistols better than a bare bottom or minimally planted tank. So well planted. Okay. The next thing, there's 2 things. Remember, the second thing is pistols also come from acidic water, generally speaking. So you want to have a pH of about 6. 5.5, 5. I wouldn't go below 5, but I would stay between 5.5 and 6.5, which would be your ideal range. You would get a lot of success at that range, or vice versa. You can probably try using RO. What's going on, ABC Aquatics and Aquatic Biotope Creations? What's up? And Kenneth Young. Non-stop aquatics, I don't know, this is just a dot. I love them, but have problems keeping them past a year. They'll eat well, breed, and everything, and then just deteriorate over 2 or 3-day period. Interesting. I have not encountered that, so I can't really say why that's happening. But a year, they're doing well and breeding, and then they die. That's interesting. I would like to know why that is also. I don't have an answer to that. Hey, mountain red belly days, I would like some of those. Whoever's breeding those, please send me some. H bar space, what's up? What's going on, fish lovers? And coming back to that entire thing, I've had that happen with some fish also. Tank redfish, like German rams, sometimes seem to live like about 2 years compared to like the wild caughts or like first and second generation wild caught that live like much longer, like 4, 5, 6 years. But then again, I have fish that I bought from Michael like last year, and at some points even in the year before, that are now quite large and are doing great. And some of them have died recently during the move and stuff, but that's because they were really old fish. So they did make at least 2 years. So I mean, being tank bred might not be the only factor. There might be other factors, but I would like to know why that is also. So Manankapiru angels, they're very beautiful. They get quite large, and they have a nice red back, I believe. Why is there foam under the tank? Oh, sorry, under my tanks, these tanks, to kind of keep it level. Yeah, I like foam. There's no foam on the small tanks, but the big tanks, I figured I should put foam. You know, and essentially what it does is, if one of these legs was slightly off, let's say half a 24th of an inch. Let's assume that this, leg was 24th of an inch shorter than the other leg, or was on an uneven surface. The foam balances the tank, so the weight gets distributed evenly and it just presses onto itself. And eventually the tank is pretty much balanced. Now for these smaller tanks, these 20 gallons and stuff, or this 15 gallon here, it's kind of not necessary. It's not gonna really mess with the tank, but for anything larger than a 40 breeder, if it's not leveled properly, that's gonna create structural issues in the glass. So where the seams are, like these edges, right? So let's say this was like, let's say a 120 gallon tank, and it was not well balanced. Okay, so this tank is not well balanced, but it's fine. It's taller on that side and it's shorter on this side. Okay, but it's okay. It's a 20 gallon. It's not not that bad. It's only like, I can see the difference, which is like about a 24th of an inch, which is fine. But now let's say that's the case with 125. Over time, that's going to stress the edges and then it's going to pop. So you need to balance your tanks. The foam helps with that, especially with large tanks. Love from Canada. Filters and everything. I don't talk Hindi. I only speak English. And I'm not from India, so I can't speak Hindi. I watch Hindi movies with my parents sometimes when I was a kid, but that's about that, Urban Angel, hey, missed the last few streams, happy to catch. Amazing. So for filtration, for any angel fish, I would say the best filters are these sponge filters. This filters this tank with a pair of angels. They're breeding. There's babies on the cone right now. They're doing great. They're one of my good pairs that breed all the time and raise a lot of babies. The babies you saw downstairs were raised by these guys, and they're great. And the sponge filter does this entire tank. I have to do water changes once every 3-4 weeks. I do like maybe 30-40% water change. Unless there's babies in the tank, then I do a little bit more water changes more frequently, just to get the excess waste out, because the babies are eating. That's what I would recommend for any type of angelfish, especially wild caughts also. Have some plants in there. Manankapiru angels, you would definitely want to have a lower pH than 7. I would say 6.5 is ideal, or lower, slightly lower. Aside from that, they're pretty easy, straightforward fish. You want to feed a high quality diet, high proteins and stuff like that. You know what I mean? How many angels do I have? I have no idea. There's a lot. I want to have thousands and thousands. I think I have a lot. A lot more than I would like to disclose. Angels are hard to sex, Leo. Yes. And it takes them about a year, 9, 10 months, 11 months to a year for tank bred varieties of scalaris. So these types of fish you're seeing here, mine kind of pair up at about 11 months or so. But my black marbles, which are basically brothers and sisters of the red marbles, tend to pair up later. So they take about 13, 14 months to pair up and breed, compared to the red marbles and the orange marbles, as well as any of the gold varieties. The platinums take about 14, 15 months also, which is, another thing I've noticed. Actually, the platinums pair up at about 30 months. So depends on the strain and also uh, other factors, but generally about a year. 3 by 2 by 1.5. I'm assuming you're talking feet. Um, I mean, you can keep, depending on the size, but if you're looking at adults, I would say you can keep a group of like 6 until they start pairing up. Once they start pairing up, you would want to ideally move them into their own tank. So this is a 1 foot by 2 feet by 1.5 foot tank. And that seems to be the best size to keep 2 fish in. But a larger tank like you're talking about there, 3 foot by 2 foot by 1.5 feet, you can probably keep about 50 to 100 medium-sized fish that are growing out. As they get to about this size, you might only be able to keep about 6 or so. This is a 3 foot tank. This is a 3 foot by 1 foot by 1.5 foot tank, maybe about 1 3/4 feet. So it's a pretty nice sized tank, and there's 5 large ultims in there. So that's kind of your limit, 5 to 6 for something what you're describing. You might be able to keep like 8 or 10 because your tank is a little bit wider. Uh, some of them do pair for life, yes. Usually, if they pair up when they're younger, they tend to pair. They stay like very good together with each other without any issues for the most part, and so that seems to be good. But if one dies, you can always pair it up with another fish, and sometimes that works out quite well. Sometimes it doesn't, but it all depends on the individual fish. Um, yes, sir. Send me some. I like some F1. I would love some F1, please. 29 gallons are like really good actually. It gives them the width and stuff, and whatever. But like in a breeding facility, it's a little bit of a restrictive tank to use. So I personally prefer the 20 talls. But my cousin also uses the 29 talls. Those seem to work really well actually. I really like those. I have a few of the 29 talls which I really like. Also for pairs of angels, so that's what I'm probably going to end up using for my larger pairs. Double coin size. What food? Anything with high protein. No bloodworms. I would stay away from feeding red bloodworms to a lot of our fish unless you want to ground it up and basically pulverize the exoskeleton, because it seems to create digestive issues, especially if it's not live. If you're feeding live ones, it's usually okay, but then there's other issues with that, with like pathogens and stuff. If you're feeding frozen, then I would stick to other types of worms. What's going on, Stubbs? So what's the best filter to use for the sandpiper? Sponge filter, internal, external? So you don't need really high flow. What I would recommend is to have a sponge filter or a Matin filter that is on one side of the tank, and have a power head internal filter with the sponge inside of it that pushes water out through the tank and creates circulation. So you have 2 filters, and if one fails, you have a backup. Always safe than sorry. Okay. Trip out on the videos when you had angels and rams going in the same tank. I know. And I've seen that quite a few times. I've never really gotten it on film. Fish tend to have, I don't know if you guys seen this before in other animals also, like, dogs sometimes will adopt babies of other animals, or cats that pick up a baby squirrel and come and raise it with its babies. Birds that adopt babies of other birds, for example. It's quite common in most animals where the parental instinct is a very strong instinct. And when you have mated pairs that are regularly breeding, I feel like they're always in that parenting instinct. Like this pair, for example, for the most part, I can just give them babies as long as they have their own babies in the tank, or I just pulled out their own babies, and I'm putting new babies that are smaller. They'll raise them for me. They don't know the difference, or they don't care about the difference. They're very like parenting oriented. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yes, let's go. 7 likes until 50. I think we do. When will I visit India? When my government allows us to leave the country. We are now essentially prisoners in our own country, so probably never. No, I'm just joking. As soon as like the restrictions are lifted on for flying and stuff, I think I would definitely fly out. Good, good. As what's going on, Lunatic French? There we go. Everyone, if you like the info you're getting, because become a member, get access to the member on the chat. Definitely become a member. It's totally worth it. Like, few people have been getting a lot of success. Not a few, a lot of you guys that are members, and there's other benefits to it too. You know what I mean? There's the and the first 100 members, I'll add all of you guys to the general group chat. After that, we'll have a separate chat for each member level. You know, so everybody gets their own little group. But what's going on, Richard? They will breed. Just give them time and be patient, and keep the water, like, you know, in a manner that is suitable for them to breed, and you know, play with the temperature a little bit. You know, a few degrees up and down. High quality food. But these are the tricks. Uh, what's going on, Chewy? Who? Okay, yeah, I said hi to Chewy already. These are fish everyone should keep. It's great for people can't wait to spread them out. Yes, definitely. Okay, so I'm not gonna stay on for too long, because I do have to do a lot of work here, and I'm working early morning tomorrow downtown, so I have to drive downtown. Oh, I hate that part. So I leave like early, just to get there early, so I can go and have some breakfast and not be sitting in the highway for no bloody reason. What's going on, Marcy? Very nice. Congratulations, Steiner. Steiner always has success with his fish, and he's really nice. There's a video actually of his fish room, but I'm gonna say there's more fish there now and more tanks. So we should probably do a new updated video soon. I want to come visit you soon in Europe as well, as soon as the restrictions are lifted and people can fly back and forth without problems. I definitely want to do a Euro trip, and also like South America, India, because there's cool fish in all over, right? And also Southeast Asia, like Myanmar, and also Borneo. I definitely want to do a Borneo trip, because there's some cool fish there that I want to go see and collect. Uh, I have not seen the Shark Pro internet filter. I have not had internet for a month and a half. I've been using my phone internet, and now I do have internet. I have set up my computer, so I haven't done anything online except like log into Facebook and talk shit for like 5 minutes while I'm, you know, taking a dump and leave. You know, that's it. That's my internet usage these days. Very nice, Marcy. Happy birthday. Yes, I would love to have another video soon, and I would love to come and visit you very soon, because there's a few people in Europe I want to actually visit. So if you ever travel down to the States, I'd love to take, definitely ABC. I would love that. I think I would not have too much of an issue getting some of those fish up north either, so it should be fine. So let's see. Kenneth is laughing. I like Rio Negro, Alton, Angels, not. Yeah, Rio Negro Altums are nice. Peruvian Altums are nice. None of them are easy to breed, I would say, but if anybody's breeding them, Kenny E, you know, including, you guys are legends, like essentially. Like you're doing God's work right now, because a lot of these animals are not gonna exist moving into the future that we're going into in the wild at least. So whoever is doing their job, trying to keep them alive and being successful breeding them in captivity and producing more of them is doing a lot to the continuation of the species, I would say. So thank you for doing that, and you guys are legends. Yes, well, I'm seeing 47. I'm not seeing 50, 49 or 48. Um, I know Tony Tan. I know him. I follow him on Facebook and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys one more thing before we go. And also, let's make Lunatic Fringe and ABC Aquatics our mods for the chat. If I miss anybody, just let me know so I can add you. Stubbs should be a mod too. Where is Stubbs? I'm trying to find Stubbs right now. Oh, yeah, he is a mod. I already made you a mod. Good. Alright. Okay, so, last looks at the Super Reds before we put them in the tank. That's where they're going into, caves and all. Autumns. Oh yeah, you guys did not see this tank. Pleco tank. So this is the mixed Pleco tank. There's like probably like 120 Plecos in here. Various sizes. All the caves are full. There's probably like another 100 or so fish in there also. It's very, very overstocked. Everybody's got their own little space though, so it's not like nobody's killing each other or anything. I haven't had any dead fish or anything. I did lose one of these guys, a really old one. Actually, not one of these. Remember I had like a bycatch in here, like the red eye tetra? That guy died. It had a tumor, so it did not survive after the move. Like 2 weeks later he died, so I want to report that. But so far that's the only death in this thing, so things have been good in there. They bred, they ate their eggs, so disappointing. These guys bred. I messed up on those, so there's that. Yeah, so that's the update on those. These guys are on eggs right now, or fry, so they're doing good. Fry on the ground. Try to see something. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. But what I wanted to show you guys is, let's not look at my mess. It's real messy in here. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not trying to front, but I want to show you guys some super cool fish. Well, white lightning, I don't know if he's gonna be. There we are. This is what I want to show you. So Michael picked these up for me and him. This is our fish. These are albino dantum angels. So I'm growing these out here now, and hopefully we will have some pairs out of these. So I did not pay for these. Michael paid for these, and I came home one day from work. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I came home, and he was over, and he was like, I have a gift for you. So I'm like, okay, like, what you got? He's like, just go look in the box. So there was this box right here, right? Sitting, that's actually from a tank that I bought. And it was sitting on the living room floor. So I was like, okay, what is that? Like, what's in there, right? And there's a giant bag of fish in there. So like, what is in the bag, right? And there was these guys. So I was super happy. Like, I came home work all stressed out and pissed off about being in the highway and all the idiot people in my neighborhood that don't know how to drive and stuff. And lo and behold, I find these on my living room floor. So put them in the tank. They're all happy and doing well. So pretty grateful for those. These are the fish that are going to the pet store. These are going to a local pet store. I believe they're going to Fanatics Aquarium. There's 90 plus Odessa barbs. There's no light on the tank. There's lids and stuff, so it's quite dark in there. But that's those guys that's trying to light on them. They're pretty as hell. So Michael bred these. There's 90 in there. There are 40 of these checkered barbs. There's about 42 or 43. I would bet there's about 45. If I know Michael, he probably put extras in there. So they're all in there. These are going to the same store. We were supposed to drop them off today, but it did not end up happening because the manager was not there. So they are going to be here for a few days, eating our food, getting fat, looking nice to go to the store in the next coming few days. There's a filter for them. So we set this up last night. Got my Africanos down there. Need to move them into their own tank. There's an angel. That is a call. So if somebody wants this fish, you can take them. I just keep them in there. There are some other fish in here. I don't know if I can get in there, but there they are. It's difficult to see in there. They're electric blue rams. Let me try to get in there. Now I can't. I gotta zoom up. Okay, I can't film in there, so this is not going to work right now. But pretty soon this will all be sorted out, so I can film in here and stuff properly without the buckets being in the way. And there they are. These are electric blues that are also going to the pet store in the next few days. There's also some lucipinas in here. And what we are doing at this moment, since they are waiting to go to the pet store, is just conditioning them, feeding them, and getting them fattened up and ready to go to the store. There's some more electric blues in here. I'll show you guys that real quickly. Here, let me try to zoom out so you can see the fish. There they are. So these are some leftover electric blues that are still growing out, that need to grow out a little bit more before they can go to the pet store. There's about another 60 in here. Pretty nice group. Pretty happy with everything. Here, let me flip the camera. And so all these fish are getting ready to go to the pet store in the coming days and weeks. I would say within this coming week they should be all at the pet store. They were supposed to be at the pet store yesterday, but we were too late to get there. They were closing, so just ended up putting them into tanks and setting them up. So that's the update on everything. I'm going to answer the last few questions and I'm going to sign off. What's in the box? The ultims, the dantums. I'll show you guys that again. These are possibly one of the most favorite fish I have, that I'm in love with these guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, they're so pretty. This is what was in the box. So they're albino dantum angels. Sorry about the glare, but they're very friendly. I haven't fed them today, so they're very up on the grass trying to eat. See, very friendly. I love that about them. So I would definitely be very happy to get a couple of breeding pairs out of these and some babies. So God willing, that would be the plan. So let me say, okay, what's in the box? Oh, I know, I love that movie. Okay, I remember the quote now. Yeah, okay. So essentially that's the tour and what's going on so far. As we set up, we will do more stuff. I probably wouldn't be able to do full tours because there's going to be a lot more tanks and stuff. I'll show you guys the shadow gallery. The works of the shadow gallery is coming together. There's a lot of tanks up here. So the shadow gallery is going to start from here. Okay, so that's the first tank on the shadow gallery. This is going to be a terrarium. There's going to be 2 more terrariums here. We have our coat rack here. That's my box spring that needs to get set up still. Bed's not set up yet. There's going to be the tall tanks, all going to be the same level. This tank's going to get replaced with one of the taller tanks from the basement. Everything else is going to be leveled out to be the same height. Plywood on the floor. And it's going to go around the whole room, right across. That's the terrarium that I'm talking about. These are going to be on the other side, same height. And going around, all this mess needs to get cleared out. The air system from the old apartment need to get set up. The new air system needs to get set up. Oh, I have an unboxing. So stay tuned for this unboxing. But I am going to open something right now actually that I got in the mail from my beautiful friend and gorgeous channel member who's a very talented artist out in Vancouver. So this came in the mail. Her address is in the front, my address is in the front. I'm not going to show you that. but I will pull the letter out. This is what she sent me. So if Sandy Diamond, if you're watching, I want to say thank you so much. Uh, this is a feather from her bird. She has a parrot, a very gorgeous parrot. This is one of his feathers that came off. So she sent it to me for good luck. So I'm cherishing this gift. Uh, a gift to my dear friend Malik. Hope you enjoy it and it brings you happiness. Congratulations on your new partnership. Thank you so much, Sandy. And yes, I mean, getting this definitely brought me happiness already, and I hope it continues to bring me more and more happiness. And having you as a friend definitely brings me happiness also. And just want to say, Sandy is an artist. She does commission artwork and paintings. She is going to be doing paintings for my entire wall here. Um, as many paintings as she wants. They're all going to be on display here. She's already sent me a couple. And I think there's one in the mail right now. So I'll show you guys the space that is dedicated to her art. So this whole wall on top of the tanks, this whole entire wall is dedicated to her artwork. And there's other spaces in the house that will also continue to highlight her artwork, but this wall is going to be dedicated to her artwork. So please check out her stuff. She has a YouTube channel as well. If somebody can put up her YouTube channel, that would be nice. What's going on, Steven? What? You change your name. Stephen P in the house. Stephen P 2003. Yeah. How you doing, brother? So yeah, that whole space is gonna be for artwork. My girlfriend's real mad because she's an artist as well. She does other stuff too, so like it's not the main thing she does. But anyways, she was super mad when I told her that I'm putting somebody else's art on my wall and not hers. But I told her I do have her art here. I do have it on display on the setup, and that would be here as well. So it's not just one person. I want to have art from a few different people. I have a few artist friends, actually a lot of artist friends. So I want to have a lot of their art here at my house. Why not, right? And so if you guys do want to buy some of the works from Sandy, you can commission them, and she does fish, trains, horses, and they're real life looking too. Like it's not like the train. When you look at the painting, it looks like the train's already moving. So like her art is very high top quality. And then there's also print availability as well. So anything you're seeing here in my house, in my gallery, if you want to get a print of that exact same piece, it could be a fish that I own, or fish that I like, fish she owns, could be anything like that, or horses. Those are what I'm into. Also trains, and other cool stuff like that. You can get prints of those as well. If you want to commission your own art, you can message her and get in touch with her. She's also on Facebook as Sandy Diamond, so contact her. So huge shout out to Sandy for being amazing and for everything she does, and also for this amazing, thoughtful gift that she spent money and mailed out to me. And it does bring me quite a lot of happiness to get this stuff. So thank you so much. Also, member perk. You get my contact info. Lunatic says I get to study all natives. Nice. I need more native fish. What's going on, Greg? Yes. If it's not fin rot, it's some other type of bacterial infection. So you definitely want to get on top of that. Usually salt and hot water helps quite a bit. Not hot water in the sense you just pour hot water, but like warmer water. If you can bring its temperature up, to about 26-ish, 27-ish degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit on the top of my head. I would say 27 would be about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I would say 80 to 82, so 27 to 28. That would be where you would want to have it, and then add some salt. Erythromycin helps. Any type of antibiotic, so metronidazole should be okay. Metroplex works, so that's metronidazole. Kanamycin also works. with dealing with the bacterial, secondary bacterial infections or anything that might be coming with it or that's causing it. So thank you, Sandy. Sandy for putting up Sandy's link. So everybody follow Sandy Diamond on YouTube and contact her if you guys are interested in art. I know you guys have favorite fish, favorite animals. I'm definitely gonna get something drawn up of my dog. I'm probably gonna pay her for that full price. I want it to be nice. That's the thing. Like it's not just the art, the talent. The material cost and everything has to be considered. So like it's not gonna be like you can't get one of these paintings for like $20 or $50 or whatever. It's several $100s, but it's money well spent. You know, especially if it's something you care about and you want to have memory of it or something like that. So to look into that and contact her. And yes, oh, no bait fish allowed in my zone except in for fishing purposes. I can keep non-native species in captivity as long as I don't throw them into the waterways. So anything that's living in southern United States, not in our own watershed. So I'm in the greater Niagara, Ontario, I guess, whatever you call it, watershed, and the Great Lakes. So anything that doesn't live natively in the Great Lakes or in Ontario, I can keep legally. I'm totally allowed to do it. So yes, I can get all types of shiners from the U.S. I can probably get permits for those to bring them over and stuff like that too. Yes, similar laws in BC. Yes, sir. Yes, I cannot keep them in captivity long term. I can only keep them to use them. It makes no sense too either, like because I can catch them, keep them in a holding tank, and put them onto a hook and throw them into the river to be used as bait. But I can't keep them in a tank and take care of them and reproduce them, and that makes no sense to me. Our government is needs to really reconsider some of its stupid laws. But that's my point on the whole thing. What are some natives? We have like darters. We have some types of. I mean, I don't know if they're shiners or darters, but we do definitely have darters. We have pickerels in some areas of Ontario. We have muskies. We have pike. We have salmon types, different kinds. We have like, um, like what else do we have? We have smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, sunfish, um, like various types of sunfish too in Ontario. Several kinds of sunfish. Um, See, that's crazy, Jonathan. Blessings, Dillian. Well, I want to keep muscalongs in a pond. That's one of my dream fish. Keeping like a huge school of muscalongs, maybe like 20, 30 of them in like a huge 2-acre pond. And not even a pond that I build. I want to buy a piece of land with a pond in it and keep largemouth, smallmouth, and muskies in the pond naturally, living all year, doing their thing. You know what I mean? Um, that's my dream. And also sturgeon. I want to keep and breed sturgeon. That's one of my dreams too. God willing, these are things I want to do in the future when I have the ability to do it in a larger facility. Hopefully. Um, but yes, muscalongs are gorgeous fish. They just can't be kept in an aquarium. There's no way. I would need to build an aquarium the size of this house and 3 times the size of this house to keep a couple of those guys in there. Well, as long as there's food and they all have their own territories, they should be fine, no? That's the thing. I have to do a lot more research, but I want to keep a group of them. I don't want one. I want a lot. I want a lot of them. I love those things. You have to catch them on a rod and reel and release them. It's always native fish. You can't keep any native fish as bait fish for more than 2 weeks. That's what Jonathan's just saying. The new law is after 2 weeks you gotta throw them out, not into a river, onto your grass.
Yeah, buddy. Walleye, that's what we have. Yeah, not pickles. Right. They're nice though. They're small. They say small. I like that about them. So, 2 feet. I can work with that. How are you, Dillian? Haven't seen you in a couple of days, so thank you for being here. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. I'm really tired, guys and girls, and I have to be up in a few hours for work. So, Daddy's gonna go to bed after doing the water change in here, and so I'm gonna sign off soon. Um, how you doing, Kushal? Sorry I missed you up there. Uh, ABC has all kind. Whoa, buddy. You know what? I might have to take a drive up to you because I need to get out bluefin killie. Okay, stay no more. Okay, let's plan this properly. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I'm really, really, really tired, and I'm really, really sorry. If you haven't liked the stream, please hit the like button. If you're watching this on the replay, comment, let me know. You know, I'm gonna start getting back to you guys and girls. I've been moving until yesterday. Today is the first day I'm not actually moving, and I'm actually home, and not stressed about stuff being at the old house and having to move them and whatever. So yesterday was the last day. I still have stuff in the car that I have to get out right now before I go to bed because I have to drive to work in the morning. I can't have that shit in the car. Um, I feel like it's Saturday, but it's still Sunday, and I have to go to bed and I have to work 5 days, 60 hours over the next 5 days minimum. I think I'm booked at least 12 hours each day for Monday and Tuesday, and 14 hours a day for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, plus the travel time to get to where I need to go to. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm in Hamilton, which is an hour and some hour and change in traffic. So, yay, Malik, and then I have to go. Yeah, it's a pain. Okay, so bear with me. I will start getting back to everybody as things get more settled, and I'm more here. I will be more videos are coming. I picked up a bunch of tanks today, new fish, so I will set them up before I go to bed. Um, you got to take the dog out. A lot of work. So I'm gonna sign off, not because I don't love you, but because I have so much other obligations to take care of. So if you are a member, let me know right away. I will add you to the group, the chat group, so we can be staying in touch regularly. And if you're a breeder level member or a master breeder level member, you will get my personal contact information, so you can text me and stuff if that works for you better. And we can have more personalized communication, so I can help you through your process or whatever questions and things you might need help with. So these are the different things available right now, and that's what I have time for. So that's what I can do. So hope you guys are all happy with it, and I think the members are, because everybody on the chat usually always is having a good time. Chain pickerel, yeah, yo, I like those. Any kind of pickerel, walleyes, little musky looking fish are nice because they have the musky look, but they don't get the size, so it's something to keep easily in like a 180 or 300 gallon tank. You can keep a couple of them, whatever, you know what I mean. So yeah, I like them too. And thank you so much for being here. Let me see one more like to hit 1,000, to hit 50 likes, so that it's 50 likes instead of 49. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great night or morning, or rest of your Sunday. Anybody outside of the U.S., it's already Monday. Hope you guys are gonna have a great week, and hope everybody has a great week this week, and hope productive, very successful week. And thank you so much. I love you all, and see you, Steiner. And some people have asked me why I say God bless you. I'm gonna address that real quickly. Without God, none of this stuff is possible. This whole everything in life is only possible through God's grace. I don't know. Some of you guys might not believe in God, but for the people that do, they might know what I'm talking about. And that's why I always say God bless you. And I want you all to have that blessing that I might have. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye, Sandy. And everybody go check out Sandy's art and commission her for beautiful artwork. And Sandy, thank you so much for your lovely letter. and the beautiful feather from your bird. I don't know where to put it. I think what I'm gonna do is once I have some of your paintings framed, I'm gonna attach it to one of the paintings so I can have it there together with the painting. So that's the plan. So thank you so much, and love you so much for doing this and for all the amazing paintings. God bless you all, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have an amazing week.